Hey, I'm Greg Ayers, and you're watching the Fans POV.
And are you an officially licensed maid?
You know, I could have gone up, I could have gotten my certificate, and I'm not quite sure if that would have been a particularly proud moment for me, though. So why don't you tell everyone what you're dressed as and everything like that?
Well, currently I am dressed as the Bat from the Superman Red Sun comic book.
How's Comic-Con compared to, like, the AVN Awards?
You know, it is so much bigger.
Would you permit us to draw a dick somewhere on your clothing?
Yeah.
So if you...
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ernie Layug, and welcome to the Fans POV, the Aftershow. Right over here to my right, your left, is the talented, the wonderful, the Hannah Montana. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Miss Kylee. Let's give her a round of applause, everybody. There you go. There we go. Yeah. So how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Now, I've heard your story before about obviously all the comparisons to Hannah Montana. I saw your appearance on Today's Show when I was going through my Yahoo headlines and all that great stuff. How has that appearance changed your life?
I think, well, usually I've always been doing stuff in Japan, the performances, the radio, everything, the TV, everything. And so performing on the Today Show in the U.S. was a really big step up. And at first it was almost scary because it was just like immediately, okay, well, now you're performing the Today Show. But it was actually really fun, and it was an amazing experience.
Now, we're going to be talking about a lot. Let's get it out of the way now. If obviously your life is a lot here in the U.S., it's a normal teenage life. You go to high school, I think, right? Yeah. And out on like long weekends, long vacations, you head over to Japan to perform, record, and all that stuff. Do you? And they say your life is a lot like Hannah Montana. Do you ever get sick of those comparisons? At
first, I was kind of hesitant, and I was like, really? Hannah Montana? But now I'm kind of starting to see the comparisons more. Just the fact that I sing in Japan, and then I have my normal life in the U.S. So it's like two different worlds for me, and how for her it's two different worlds, but it's in the same country. And for me, I think even if I did start singing in the U.S., it'd still be two different worlds because it's really two different countries, and it's totally different. So
it's totally different communities, what you're saying. Now, you're saying that you have the normal teenage life here. Is there ever times where you just be like, I really do miss going out Friday nights. Like, I really miss like that normal teenage life.
I think going to school in itself and hanging out with my friends and just being a goof and, you know, hanging out. It's just even at school, it's you still have that teenage experience there. The fact that I still go to public school and I don't go get homeschooled or anything, and so I really appreciate how I can still have that and then still have the whole actual like a full-time job. And so some days, yeah, you know, you'll be like, oh, I missed that, I wish I could have been there, but then again it's like I'm out here singing, and singing is what I love, so it's not too much of a struggle or anything.
Okay, now I know some of the teen artists here in the States, they have to sacrifice a lot for, such as like in the senior year, like going to prom and graduation. Do you plan on doing that, like going to prom and going to graduation?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to prom and graduation. The great thing about my situation is my music company basically has cooperated with my school and with my family and everything to kind of work with my schedule. So I have a year-round school, so I get 2-week breaks instead of 1-week breaks for like spring break, fall break, winter break, you know. And so a majority of everything is during those breaks, and sometimes with those emergencies, they'll have me like miss one day of school or leave on the weekend. But last year I went as a junior to prom, and everything was fine, and I'm really excited for senior year prom and being able to graduate with my friends and everything, so hopefully I'm not going to miss out on that.
Oh, That is awesome to hear. Now, when you fly out to Japan, like you said, during your long breaks, and your school helps you out with that, is it ever a relief? Because in Japan, you're so popular there, and then you come back here, it's like tumbleweeds just going along. Do you ever feel like the relief? Do you feel relief when you come back to the States?
Definitely when I have those, like this last summer, it was work every single day basically, and coming back, driving home was very like relaxing, and just the fact that my family's there, and it's very homey, I guess you could say. It's very easy to live in, Arizona is. But then it was like, okay, next day is school. So sometimes when I have school, like the next day, that's when I get a little panicky. Kind of have to go home and stay up till 3 in the morning doing homework. But they both, like, I'm still grateful that I can come and ease down a little bit more when I come back.
All right. Well, you said you live out in Arizona, so all this heat outside, this must be home for you, right? It's
actually
101 and 100.
It's actually totally different heat. It's more similar to Japan. Baltimore, I think, is more humid, like Japan is, and Arizona is very dry heat. So it's you don't sweat or anything. It's just the sun's hot, but you don't actually like feel the heat.
Well, that's good to hear. So, all right, now let's talk about the music. You just had a new single come out, Everlasting. It's the theme to Gundam Unicorn, correct? Now, tell us about it. Like, how did you come up with it? Did the producers come to you, and why should we buy it?
Everlasting is it's the theme song for Gundam Episode Unicorn 2, and before that I've heard of Gundam, and I know it's like a super famous big anime, and a lot of my band members I didn't even know about. They have like a stack of like action figures in their rooms and everything. I was like, really? This is really big, and so I kind of like researched it a little bit more and got to know a little bit more about it, and it seemed really interesting that even my 30-year-old band member, still to this day, ever since he was little, has been watching it, and so I kind of recognized how important and I guess not really emotional, but like how awesome I guess it is to a lot of people, and so I think Everlasting really fits the whole feel to it. If you watch the actual anime, this specific episode has a lot to do with, it's outer space. It's like totally separate, like all this separation and mixed emotions, but then there's those that connection between like the people and Gundam. And Everlasting really talks about that connection, how even though we're separated, we still have that connection, and I don't have to tell you. It's just kind of like there, and it's not really like telepathy, but it's that connection that's obviously there. And so that's in the song, and the song can be interpreted in different meanings, which I try to make out of my songs so that people can connect with them more. And so I think people would really enjoy it, so you should buy it.
I'll buy it. I'll tell you that. So there's $1.29 for on iTunes right there. Now, with the whole anime thing, do you feel like anime is starting to help expand your audience? You think how good do you think this will be for your career?
At first, I thought it would be good when I started off in Japan, because a lot of people, in Japan love anime, obviously, and it was a good way to have that connection as well, and also kind of participate more into the Japanese culture. But then finding out that a lot of people, even in the U.S., like anime, it's kind of I'm starting to see more of a door open even to people who like anime in the U.S., which is really cool.
Now, let's get to some fan questions that they got asked to us. First one was, which language are you most comfortable singing in, English or Japanese?
Definitely, I can't really like put a finger on and say this is a lot more better, but English is obviously a little bit more better because I've been speaking it my whole life, grew up, started singing English songs in the beginning, and so English is the language I can sing a lot more powerfully and more confidently in. And in Japanese, at first when I started singing it was a little bit of a struggle for me, but as I started to practice more and sing more, I got more into it and have step by step becoming, a little bit more confident in singing in it.
No, not bad there. Now, what was your favorite song to record and why?
Recorded many, many songs. Let's see. Well, Never Give Up was actually really fun to record because this was my first single, and usually I always do my recordings in Japan or sometimes in California. So Never Give Up was fun to sing because I got to sing in Arizona and record, and so it felt like just like at home. But I think the most interesting, different experience was when I went to LA and recorded Over You and Just Breathe. These are all the songs that were in the Zammed, one of the albums I released for Zammed and the anime, and I recorded it in LA in this awesome studio, and it was a really different style compared to the Japanese studio. It was a bit more like thick sounding, and it was cool to interact with the people there and practice.
Must have been pretty cool there. Now, one final thing. Actually, two more, a couple more. But who is your dream duet and why?
Probably Avril Lavigne, because she, ever since the beginning, I've always admired her, and I've always listened to her music since the very beginning, and I just love how her voice is so powerful, and just everything about her style and her confidence and independence, and I think it'd be so much fun because I have been listening to all her music since the very beginning, so I basically know all the songs, and I think it'd be really fun to sing songs with her.
Not Justin Bieber?
Not Justin Bieber.
She's learned. All right, no. All right. Now, another question I do have to ask is that 2 weeks ago, there was the finals for the Women's World Cup. It was USA versus Japan. If I remember correctly, you have a Japanese mother and an American father. Which team were you rooting for?
Yeah, that was the whole big thing. Like, a lot of people would ask me, so which team are you rooting for? Because your mom's Japanese and then your dad's American. So our family hasn't been really like a big soccer family, and well, at least I'm not too much into the sports, but my dad is, and but my parents weren't like fighting or anything and saying, oh, well, this team's going to win and your team's not going to win. But I'm definitely glad that Japan won because like the U.S. has been winning a lot. And it kind of just, I think because of the situation that Japan was in, they kind of proved how they just like totally stepped up and anything is possible, just because of what happened. That doesn't mean that they can't do anything anymore.
Okay, so it's like sort of obstacles they overcome. Yeah. Did your mom rub it in your dad's face when that happened? Or?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay. That must have been a fun house in.
It was actually funny because my dad was happy. He was really happy that they won, and he was proud. So.
That's good to hear. Now, one final question I do have to ask is that we got fan questions that we got, and we asked them to you. Now it's your turn to ask a question to the fans. What question would you ask them?
Well, what kind of people do a majority of the people that are watching this show?
It's mostly like anime fans. Yeah.
Well, I have a lot of friends that are sort of into anime, and then there's some that don't even really watch anime, and I want to know like what anime shows you recommend for like beginning anime people, because I want to kind of get them into it, but I don't know what shows to start them off with first,
No, that's fair, yeah. I go with that. I know we had a show called The List once, and that was actually one of our topics. Mm-hmm. I think one of them was Death Note or I think Cardcaptor Sakura. Yeah, so that's a couple that you can go with there. Well, thank you very much for the interview. Yes, and if you want to see the complete interview, make sure you check out our website www.outoftimeproductions.com. All right, we'll see you.